In 1964, Europe's crude marriage rate peaked at 8 marriages per 1,000 people. By 2023, that number had effectively halved. Across the United States and developed Western economies, the data traces a slow, steady, multi-decade retreat from the institution of marriage. India completely defies this trajectory. The country maintains a structurally elevated marriage rate of 6.8 per thousand people, driven by a cultural framework where between 96 and 98% of citizens eventually wed. During a single 35-day peak wedding season in late 2024, Indians conducted an estimated 4.8 million ceremonies. Those unions generated over 6 trillion rupees in domestic consumer spending across logistics, venues, and jewelry. Yet, if you ask Generation Z, the enthusiasm seems to be collapsing. Recent youth surveys reveal a striking 55% of young Indians prefer to delay or skip marriage entirely. Between soaring living rents, a highly competitive job market, and ideological aversion to patriarchal households, young urbanites express a strong desire for personal independence over prescribed cultural milestones. This chart visualizes a deep contradiction in the survey data. Despite a majority of young adults actively stating they want to avoid the institution, when we look at married youth, an overwhelming 84% actually end up in an arranged marriage. Furthermore, pure love marriages are geographically isolated anomalies. Across massive northern and western states like Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, prevalence effectively bottoms out at 0 to 1%. Decades of rapid economic liberalization, global internet access, and shifting youth ideals have not dismantled the traditional Indian marriage. Instead, the institution continues to function as an inescapable social mandate. In 1963, sociologist William J. Good hypothesized a specific theoretical timeline. As a country industrializes and its citizens migrate to urban centers, large extended family systems should break down and be replaced by independent, nuclear households. That theory completely falters on the Indian subcontinent. Because the Indian state does not provide comprehensive, universal social security or unemployment safety nets comparable to Western democracies, the extended family operates as the primary bulwark against economic destitution. Historically, local matchmakers and localized village networks managed the alliances between these extended families. But as young people migrated to massive urban sprawls for education and tech jobs, parents lost the geographic reach required to organically source suitable spouses for their children. Online matrimonial platforms digitized endogamy, filtering candidates by microcaste, lineage, and religion, replicating village-level constraints inside a borderless app. The resulting demographic reality is stark. India Human Development Survey data reveals only 5.4% of marriages are intercaste, while Pew Research confirms interfaith unions account for just 1%. Access to higher education, particularly for women, also failed to eradicate the arranged system. Instead, educated Indian women frequently leverage their degrees to negotiate better terms within a new love-cum-arranged hybrid model. They demand a heavily vetted pool of choices and the absolute right of refusal, yet 87% of women with doctoral degrees still ultimately participate in an arranged union. This negotiated choice creates measurable economic ripples. Sociological data demonstrates a powerful correlation. A woman's probability of participating in the paid labor force increases by over 7 percentage points if she had a decisive say in choosing her husband, compared to having no input. Matrimonial platforms and higher education act as high-efficiency software updates for the traditional alliance, preserving ancient social boundaries while wrapping them in a layer of modern choice. Beneath the social boundaries lies a bedrock of hard financial mechanics. Despite being legally prohibited since 1929, an analysis of 40,000 rural marriages spanning 5 decades found that dowry was paid in 95% of them. The payment of dowry acts as a massive transfer of liquid resources and human capital from the bride's natal home directly into the consumption pool of her new marital household. Female education exacerbates costs through hypergamy. Because highly educated men are competitive, an educated bride's desirability inflates the required dowry. To defend this pragmatic system, one ultimate metric is cited. India maintains a microscopic divorce rate of just 0.01 per 1,000 people. Only 1 in 100 marriages ends in separation. However, interpreting this statistic purely as a sign of marital harmony ignores the structural reality. The microscopic divorce rate is heavily driven by intense social stigma, a lack of female property rights, and severe financial entrapment that leaves women with zero viable economic options outside the marital home. Yet for the modern middle class, arranged marriage is actively chosen as a safer gamble. When conflict arises, the extended family networks that brokered the union step in as an informal insurance policy. They mediate disputes, apply immense social pressure, and provide financial support to prevent the dissolution of their allied investment. The institutional longevity of the arranged marriage relies on its ability to prioritize and enforce pragmatic economic alliances over individual romantic fulfillment. None of this means the institution is stagnant. While the parameters of caste and wealth remain rigid, the traditional Indian marriage possesses a profound institutional elasticity regarding human development. National data shows female child marriage fell from 54% in the early 1990s to 23% by 2021. Concurrently, rates of early childbearing collapsed, leading to measurable, multi-decade progress in maternal health outcomes across the subcontinent. Today, modern Indian youth are increasingly granted the superficial aesthetics of Western romance. Couples utilize short engagement periods to test compatibility, and roughly 28% of surveyed couples now include elaborate formal proposals, layered seamlessly over a process that was entirely vetted by their parents. This aesthetic modernization is the system's most effective defense mechanism. By absorbing globalized dating trends, the institution diffuses youth rebellion, offering a convincing illusion of complete individual agency. The institution survives by integrating modern individualist traits into its core framework, ensuring social stratification and communal wealth remain protected, even as the outward aesthetics change.